G'day everyone and welcome to this week's Life on the Hulls, and we're currently in the Gold Coast in Queensland. We're about 4.5 weeks after we left home. Now we just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who made a comment last week. It was just so nice. Every comment was boosting us along and giving us moral support for all of our hard work, and that's just one of the most incredible things, isn't it, Jen?
Yeah, there were really lovely comments, and we really appreciated it. We really appreciated the kind words.
So good, and just shows you what a great bunch of people are watching our videos. So we've learned a lot in the last month, haven't we?
I certainly have.
We've been punished, we've been sleepless, we've had it all. It's been an absolutely sensational month, and we've had weather hold and some big conditions. So really lots more to come, and as we transition from a build channel into a cruising channel, you're going to see us make a lot of mistakes, I'm sure. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's get back to where we left off at Cronulla in Port Hacking, and we're going to go for a walk on the beach because we've been on the boat for 3 days and we need a stretch.
We certainly do.
We've had such a nice stay here at Yowie Bay Marina. Right up in Port Hacking. Had an absolutely brilliant day yesterday and night with Sam and Veronica, which they actually just live, well, about 5 kilometres that way, so they're not far away, so we're able to use his car. And we went in and bought a couple of man overboard AIS PLBs, I guess the Rescue Me ones, so that if we go in the water we can actually track straight back to where we are. We thought, well, Janet thought that was an essential item, and I tend to agree. I think it's a great item to have on board, or on our PFDs if nothing else. We're just topping up our water. Spent a couple of nights on the mooring here up in Yowie Bay. Now this is actually about 5 or 6 kilometres into the Port Hacking, and there's some absolutely stunning properties and boats. I can't believe how many boats are up in here, and this is only one of the little bays in Port Hacking. There's some absolutely beautiful cats over there, big Mumby, and then there was also a big Fontaine Peugeot over there as well. Not to mention all the fishing boats and yachts that have moored up in here, and obviously pay for commercial moorings or for private moorings during the year while they're not in use. But yeah, it's a bit of a wet day, so the winds are still up. We've got about 25 knots southerly out on the ocean, so we're going to head back to Gibbon where we were 2 nights ago and spend the night there, and the swell is planning to drop a bit, and the wind is supposed to drop just a touch, and we're going to head up towards Sydney Harbour. That's our plan, is to go into Sydney Harbour and anchor up or moor up around Manly or somewhere like that. And given this weather, I don't expect it to be too busy. Sort of hoping that we can get into there and maybe spend a couple of nights there, or maybe a night there, and then head further north to Pittwater. Really lovely to see our Sam, because we won't be seeing him for a while, probably till about the end of the year. So, and it's May now, so we don't want to delay around now because we want to head north and get warm, because it's starting to get cool. We're sort of mid-May, and yeah, it's been a really big few days. Jan and I are still a little bit edgy. We just can't quite calm down yet, and yeah, it's sort of been a bit overwhelming, the whole thing. Luckily Darren came with us on the first big leg. That sort of validated the boat and the sail configuration, and it really handled it well. We were so delighted with how the boat handled it, and yeah, but for now I've just got to go and get more water in this. Pretty disgusting. But just zip over to the marina there. Just over here in the marina there's a tap, and I've left my hose over there, so I'll go and fill up our last jerry cans, and we've just filled up our tanks. It didn't take much decision making, but we've got to get a water maker. This has just got hair on it, this idea of bloody carrying tons of water onto the boat every week. It's just going to be a bit too much. So at this stage, looking for a water maker. So Water Makers Australia are in my sights, and I'll be having a chat with them over the next couple of days, I'm sure, to see if we can get a new water maker for the boat, and I'll get that installed pretty quickly. So yesterday we went to Sydney Rope Suppliers, great bunch of guys, and really well priced ropes, not far from where we are here at Gibbon Beach in the Port Hacking, which is just south of Sydney. And we bought another 100 metres of 12mm halyard for our spinnaker halyard. Yesterday we tried to winch me up on the bosun chair, and I couldn't get the 14mm spinnaker halyard through our clutches. I've only got 12mm or 10 and 12mm clutches. So I went and bought another 100-metre roll, and what I'll do is I'll pull that up through and replace the 14mm halyard with a 12mm halyard, and then we'll have similar size ropes to be able to hoist me up the mast. Now the reason why I've got to go up the mast is that our radar mount is rubbing on our sails, and that's not a good scene. It's actually rubbing on the back of our main. When we've got the sail fully prevented, it's basically rubbing against the edge of the sail, and it will wear through if I don't deal with it. And when we're at Sydney Ropes, we bought a spool, or about 40 metres of 8mm line to run through our low friction rings. On Sunday when we came up with Darren, we had some low friction rings that I'd actually spliced into some Dyneema soft shackles to act as preventer lines, and they are based at the base of our stanchions. And I've just got Janet here with the hot knife. I think this is Janet's favourite tool right now. She's doing a lot of this cutting of the lines, and we're just cleaning up our cuts. We probably should have just cut them, but I cut them with a pair of scissors because we could. That's it, just flatten it out. So the idea is that we can prevent the lines out to the outside of the boat here, particularly when it's sloppy and it's a bit swelly, and we can run a line from the boom right out to this low friction ring that's just here, through a low friction ring, along and back to the back of the cockpit here. And what I'll do is I'll have a jam clutch right there in front of that cleat, and we'll be able to lock it off. And we'll do that also with the jib, because having a self-tacking jib, the thing just flops from side to side under its own momentum. And if we run a line exactly the same back to here, we can actually deal with it back at the back of the cockpit, and that's a lot safer than us going forward. We can also triangulate that jib down to the front forward pulpit there, which will make a big difference as well. So we're just trying to simplify it. The other night we had all manner of lines, little 6mm ropes and stuff, just working out how we should fit it, and Darren and I came up with a bit of a decision that a couple of jam clutches, or those jam cleats, will make a big difference in ability to be able to control it and make it simple to be able to re-rig at any time we're sailing. So I've just headed out of Gibbon Reef at Port Hacking. We're heading for Sydney Harbour. We're going to anchor up tonight at Manly Cove, around about Little Manly or Quarantine Station. We'll see how we go. We're cruising along nicely. We've had a couple of little hiccups heading out. When I was mucking around with the halyard yesterday or the day before, trying to winch myself up the mast to sort out a radar mount issue, I twisted the halyard. So the halyard's got a bit of a twist in it, and I'm hoping it's going to come down, because if it doesn't come down with a bit of trouble, anyway, I'll be able to pull the sail down if nothing else. But yeah, it's been a bit of a wild couple of minutes, and Janet and I are both now calm because we've got the sails all prevented out. How was that done? You all right now? It's a bit hairy, isn't it?
It is. We're still learning.
A lot to learn, and we make sure we haven't got a twist in the halyard. That was half the problem. And we were calling out the first reef when it was supposed to be the third reef, and we're just hopeless. But we're not hopeless. We've just got a lot on. And first few times out, it's going to be a bit like this until we get our handle on it. We worked it out pretty quickly, and we're on our way, and we're doing about 4.5 knots on a beam reach, cruising, heading towards Sydney Harbour.
Not sure if you can see, but we've been left in the dust of the other big cat. Anyway, we're happy. They're probably doing about 8 knots. We're probably doing about 5, but we're comfortable.
Going along at 2.8 knots because the wind's just gone and it's calmed right down. We're off Botany Bay, so old Captain Cook would have seen it just like we're seeing it, and we're almost stalled here. It's dead calm, and we're flopping around because the wind has just gone down to 9 knots and virtually non-existent. We're still moving along at 3.5 knots, so not too bad. There's still a 2 metre swell running. All new to us. Everything's very new, even though we had a good run the other day. We're feeling it. Oh, here we go. A little bit more wind now. That'd be good. And we've just had an Ultramare pass us. He flew past us. Well, he didn't fly, but he's probably about half a K ahead now, and they started about a kilometre or a mile behind us. So pretty impressive beast that was. And obviously with a big Genoa, they did have a reef in the main, but they had a Genoa up, so they're just going to fly along, and we're just still finding our way. We've just had a pot of dolphin join us about 10 minutes ago. They're not leaving, and they're just leaping all over the place, and just as we're passing Botany Bay, which is pretty cool. Just see if we can actually see them here, but it's a bit hard to see. Yeah, there they are. Look at that. Yeah, they're right off the bow. They've been with us for ages. We're only doing, well, we're doing 4.5 knots, which is pretty reasonable. We're doing 4.5 knots in 10 knots of wind, so we're sailing. Yeah, stacks of dolphins here. And I think they're not big bottlenose. They're probably like a spinner or something. Only little guys, probably 3 or 4 foot long. Oh, some are a little bigger. Cruising, aren't we?
Yeah.
We can.
Way out the front there.
Yeah, we can see South Head right off in the distance, which is what we're heading for today.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to have to turn downwind a little bit in a minute. We're heading out right out offshore, probably a couple of k's offshore now. Well, it really doesn't get any better than this, cruising along the Sydney coastline. We're just coming up past La Perouse and Long Bay and Maroubra Beach, sort of my old stomping ground when I was first moved to Sydney. But we're surrounded by dolphins, and I just saw a humpback breach about probably half a k in front of us. Okay, South Head over there, that's Sydney Harbour, Sydney Tower, and around there is the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And over here we have Bradley's Head, and then Dobroyd Head, and in there is Middle Harbour, and that's Balmoral Beach in there. So beautiful, coming into Sydney. First time I've sailed our own boat into Sydney. I've been in on a few boats, dive boats, and Ronnie's boat a few times. And then over here we have Sydney's North Head. I used to run diving off here, and there's a few wrecks out here. Right underneath us is the wreck of the Centurion in about 18 metres of water, and there's still big coils of wire and a bit of the substructure still on the bottom. And I used to dive that, God, back in the 80s. Absolutely mind-boggling how quickly time goes, because it feels like yesterday I was diving these sites. Along here we've got what they call the Q station. This is where all of the immigrants coming into Australia used to be locked up, and all their clothes were either burnt or steam cleaned for viruses and any sort of airborne diseases that they might have been carrying, or body-borne diseases. They were locked up until they were cleared medically. Every single immigrant coming into Sydney used to come into this spot here. In fact, no, it wasn't Australia, but it was every immigrant into Sydney. And yeah, we've got Manly over here, and Little Manly up on the corner here, and then Manly Main Beach all the way in there. Oh, I guess you could call it home. We lived here for quite a while, so we know the area pretty well. I used to run a lot of dive courses around this area, and Janet and I probably should have settled in Manly, but we ended up down in Jervis Bay. You can't regret your decisions, because the decisions were absolutely normal at the time, and I think that's the problem with people, is they tend to regret or lament what they should have done. We certainly wouldn't be here on our yacht if we had lived here. That was one of the strangest experiences I've ever had. I'm coming into a mooring field and there's scuba divers everywhere from the army, and a boat anchored like 20 metres from the mooring. Very, very odd. That just didn't make a lot of sense. So we're here at Quarantine Beach in Manly on the northern peninsula of Sydney Harbour, and we've been anchored up. We just moored up this morning. We'll have the night here. We're on Quarantine Beach, and this is where all the immigrants used to come in to Australia. They had to be washed and cleaned and steamed and sanitised before they were allowed into the country. I mean, what a world. Think about it now, they just pile in, no rules. It's pretty extreme what they used to do. They used to take all their suitcases into these bloody sheds up behind here and steam them and throw them and burn them and do whatever they needed to do to get rid of any bugs. Synergy looking good, sitting on anchor there. Well, it's on a mooring, in fact. The only thing about this spot here is you get a lot of ferry wash. So the ferries that bolt across here to Manly from Sydney Harbour tend to knock us around a bit. But it's going to be a good night, and then we're heading off to Pittwater tomorrow. We're going out for a bit of a bushwalk. Should be a nice afternoon. This is a national park here, so Janet came up and stayed here with the wine club a couple of months ago. She said, "You've got to come here, we've got to pull up here. There's a cafe here," so might grab a coffee later, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
I think so. So this is the autoclave where they used to bring all their stuff in here and cook them, steam them clean to kill any bugs. Wow, that's weird. That is amazing. Now when you fly into Australia, they just spray the whole aircraft with some toxic aerosol to hopefully kill any airborne bugs. I mean, good luck with that. It's a pretty big affront to you when you're flying into a beautiful place like Sydney and you get sprayed as you come in. It's always like, yeah, we know what you've got on you and we're going to kill it. But anyway, now it's a very different world. People just piling in through customs, you know, with virtually no biosecurity apart from fruit and food. Oh, you got a towel. Right on. Nice little cafe here. What a spot. This is absolutely, you forget about these spots in Sydney. Cool. Well, what can I say? Sydney sunset.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty nice. Friday arvo, everyone's out.
Dragon boat has just paused to watch.
There's about 100 kayakers coming towards us right now, down here.
Just sat there and watched the sunset too.
Looks like these guys are on a kayak tour down here from Manly. So we had a really nice walk up onto the North Head today. Sydney's North Head's just absolutely stunning, and they've done this beautiful walk up there to get out and get right out to the cliff edge, and you can see the kayakers paddling below, doing their lap around from Manly. We've got another group coming towards us right now. Sit on top by the look of it, but it doesn't really matter. This blue boat, I have a feeling she's been abandoned, because it's been here for a good couple of days. The other boat here for the night, and we'll be off in the morning. Life is very good out here on Synergy this afternoon. I'm really enjoying being in the city, and yeah, it's a little bit rocky because of the ferry wake, but you know, what do you do? Well, good morning. We're heading out of Sydney Harbour this morning. We've got David Hutton on board, my pseudo brother-in-law, I guess you'd call him. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Pretty good, mate.
Lovely
How good's
day,
this?
lovely
Yeah.
day, perfect.
It's a stunner of a day, isn't it? Absolute cracker of a day.
As long as we get some breeze, we'll be laughing.
Yeah, a bit of breeze would be good. So we're heading just out of North Head, just off in the distance behind me. Got a kayaker and a fishing boat straight ahead, David. Yeah, give him a wide berth. And watch that kayaker too. So we've got a little bit of a swell running today, and we're heading up to Barrenjoey and Pittwater, which is about 20 nautical miles north of Sydney Harbour. South Head in the distance. Over to my starboard side on the port side, we've got North Head, and then over there, probably can't see it, just see the tip of the harbour bridge and Sydney Tower. Yeah, cracker day, beautiful and warm, and there's kayakers everywhere. So what do you reckon, David?
Absolutely excellent.
It's been a nice morning, isn't it?
It's been fantastic.
Wasn't really much of a sail, but
No, but the boat's performed beautifully.
yeah, now we're coming in around Barrenjoey Head. Got a pretty stunning outlook ahead of Pittwater. A few boats out. There's a guy up here with a spinnaker out. That's about all you'd need today because there's no wind. Oh, Janet's delivering food. Definitely. No, I'll have it now. We've got dolphin on the bow again. Hey man, up here. Okay, we've just pulled into Carreel Bay Marina. What a great little spot this is. And we've got some visitors. Theo, how good's this, eh? Is that good? Is that good, mate? You got a yogurt and Alex. Tommy, my nephew. Ah, good lad. And a great little funky little marina, this one. Wouldn't call it funky. It's worth millions, isn't it? David talked us into coming into the dock, and I'm glad he did, because we were hanging out on some pretty sketchy moorings. These mooring fields behind me are tiny. There's like 10 metres between boats, and I was worried we were going to swing around and hit somebody. But yeah, it was a nice little run in and good practice for me docking. It steers pretty well, doesn't it, Dave? Nice thing about the Cat is I can sort of manoeuvre it pretty well, and I had some good help on the dock. The young guy at the marina helped us out. Niecy's arrived, my sister Niecy. It's a family affair, the Savo. Janet, I can't believe we needed more provisioning after the $50,000 she spent last week.
And we're eating on board tonight.
Yeah. Well, we've had a few issues. We're up at the basin in Pittwater and had a couple of major issues. And we've got David and Denise on board. And David and Janet and I have been...
Hello.
David and Janet and I have been problem solving a couple of issues, and one of those is that we stripped a reefing line. It chafed that badly. So we've determined that the track that holds our sail bag has got a razor sharp edge on it, and it's stripped one of our reefing lines. So we've blinged the edge of that off, and we're going to work on a workaround for that a bit later on. But we've got to replace the reefing line. The other problem we had was the other day I tried to disconnect the halyard to be hoisted up the mast with the spinnaker halyard and the main halyard, and I've put the 2-to-1 halyard car back wrong on the sail, and then we've been up and down 10 times, haven't we? So luckily, because I've videoed all this for you guys, I was able to go back to when I put the sails on, and we bang, within 5 minutes had it sorted, didn't we?
Yep, old school.
Old school. And David, the whole time, Dave's going, I don't know why it's not attached to the kringle at the top of the head sail. And yeah, that's where it belonged, wasn't it? I should have just listened to David right from day one. But I'm not going to let him have the credit because we had to work it out. No, he's got the credit. I'll give him the credit. So we're...
Well done, David.
That's all right.
It's not your first rodeo, right?
Can you just not stand on the edge of that with a 10-foot drop?
It's all new technology to me.
Yeah, right, David.
Yeah.
It's in a bit sailing.
Oh, this is.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of new stuff on this boat that's a bit different to what David was used to. These sort of medium roach sails are a little bit different, but anyway, it was me that got it wrong. David was right. Oh, of course. So he's loving that.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
So our first reefing line we actually cut short with the hot knife, of course, because we'd never cut a rope on a line on the boat without a hot knife, Alan. And the sheath had actually gone too far, and we ended up losing too much of it. So I've got to pull a whole new first reef. So we've got a big new spool of 12mm up here, which I'm hoping is going to fit through my block. If it doesn't, I might have to come up with another solution. We've got a beautiful blue and black flecked 12mm reefing line here now, and I'm just hoping it's going to go through. Keep pulling. Got ages to go yet. Okay, so we're through. Okay, now we need to just attach it to the boom and run this back to here, and we've got our new reefing line, which is very cool. Bargain, Sydney Rope Supplies. Look them up, they're awesome. Wise man once said, always cut with a hot knife. Never, ever, ever cut a line on a boat without a hot knife. And I just discovered why, because the sheath goes inside the line. We discovered that yesterday when we tried to fix the first reef. So we've got our hot knife. Very important thing. Right, David.
Thank you.
I think it's the most windless period I've ever remembered in months. We've had to sail the main up for a couple of hours now, and they've had absolutely zero wind, and there's guys out trying to sail out here. A couple of cats coming in under motor sail. But yeah, it's dead calm, absolutely dead calm. Only issue I might have, I might have to get a cigarette lighter and just burn the end clean. We've actually fixed a lot of problems. We fixed our reefing line and we fixed our mainsail head car problem that we had, and Dave's
good.
just packing up. How's that, Dave?
It's not down yet.
Let it run. Put it down.
I love your beanie, David.
Where's that bed?
That's attractive.
solved a myriad of problems there.
That's good.
Last night we met Tyler and Fern at the boat show a couple of years ago, and here they come. Look at this, what a machine, a Waller 1200. It's a 1250. How's the Uggies going there, Fern?
Yeah, it means I need to go north if I'm in Uggs, right?
That's what you need.
Sorry about all the action this morning. We had a few.
Looks good.
Yeah, we fixed our reefing line and we had a little kringle problem, so as you do. All right, have a good sail back, guys.
Everything.
Great to see you. We'll see you in Queensland. Catch ya. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, making friends, sailing. That's what it's all about, eh? It's Janet's birthday today. Happy birthday, honey.
Thank you.
Janet was supposed to be having the day off, but we had her on the winch. David and I had her on the winch, didn't we, mate? She worked hard for it. So I'm going to get up and fix that bloody razor sharp edge, because that took out my reefing line, and it just shows you one little sharp corner is enough to destroy your day, and we've lost half a day mucking around with that. Anyway, all done now, and time for a coffee.